All right, let's talk about something that I know gives a lot of people headaches: GST compliance. You know, that feeling when you're just buried under a mountain of invoices trying to make sense of it all? If that sounds familiar, well, you're in the right place. We're going to cut through that chaos. You know, it always starts with something so simple, doesn't it? A casual comment in the office. But this is where the chaos begins. That one crucial invoice starts a journey, and somewhere along the way, it gets lost in the shuffle. It's the tiny crack that can lead to a massive headache later on. And then, on top of just keeping track of the paper, you've got the rules themselves. They can feel like a total maze, right? A simple, honest question like, wait, is TDS 1% or 2%, can bring everything to a grinding halt. It's this constant second guessing that lets those little errors slip through the cracks. Ah, and there it is, that sinking feeling. It's the end of the month, you're staring at your screen, and the numbers that are supposed to be the same, well, they just aren't. This single phrase is the sound of frustration for pretty much every accountant out there. Look, this isn't some made-up scenario, is it? For so many people, this is just another Tuesday. It's a world of missing documents, confusing regulations, and numbers that just refuse to cooperate. If you're sitting there nodding your head, trust me, you're not alone. This is the massive gap between how accounting works in a textbook and how it works in the real, messy world. But what if there was a tool designed specifically to build a bridge over that gap? And that guide, our way out of this mess, is the GSTR2B reconciliation. Think of it as the official map provided by the government to help you find your way, to create one single source of truth for all your purchases and your input tax credit. So what exactly is this thing? Well, simply put, the GSTR2B is a statement the GST portal creates for you automatically. Now, the key thing to get here is that it's not what you think you can claim, it's what the system says you can claim, based on what your suppliers have officially uploaded. This is our ground zero for getting clarity. And the best part? Getting your hands on this is super straightforward. You just log into the portal, navigate to the dashboard, pick your month, and download the Excel file. That's it. No more chasing people for physical copies of invoices. All right, so you've downloaded the report. Now for the fun part. How do we actually use it to tackle those soul-crushing mismatches we were talking about? Believe it or not, there's a real method to the madness. It's a 5-step dance. First, get your own purchase records ready. Second, compare the key details: GSTIN, invoice number, date, value. Third, and this is crucial, you categorize the differences. Fourth, you take action. And finally, you prepare your claim. And this right here, this is a perfect real-world example of that third step: categorize the differences. It's a classic mismatch. The supplier is right, the amount is right, but a simple typo on the invoice number means the system can't match them up. Now you know exactly what the problem is. This right here is how you turn that mountain of problems into a manageable to-do list. Instead of one big, overwhelming pile of unmatched stuff, you sort every single invoice into one of 4 buckets. Is it a perfect match? Great. Claim that ITC. Is it in your books but not on the portal? Now you know exactly what supplier you need to call. This is how you take back control. So, you might be thinking, okay, this is a lot of work. Why does it really matter? Well, it's simple. This isn't just about tidy bookkeeping. It's about your money. Every single one of these little mismatches hits you right in the wallet. Let's just play this out. Your books, your own records, say you should be able to claim 5 lakh rupees in credit. Awesome. But then you download your GSTR2B, the official record, and it only shows 4,80,000. And here's the absolute rule. You can only claim what's on the portal. That 20,000 rupee gap, that's cash you can't touch until it's fixed. Just think about that. 20,000 rupees. That's your money, your working capital, just sitting there, locked up because a supplier hasn't done their part correctly. When you put a number on it, that follow-up call suddenly feels a lot more important, doesn't it? Okay, let's switch gears to another huge pain point I hear about all the time: claiming credit for expenses you have in a different state. This is one of those areas where it is so easy to make a really costly mistake. So picture this. It happens all the time. Your main office is in Maharashtra, but you send an employee to Delhi for a business trip. They stay in a hotel, and that hotel charges Delhi's GST. So can your Maharashtra office claim that credit? The short answer is no, not directly, but you do have options. And here are your 3 main plays. If your team travels a lot, you can register as an Input Service Distributor, or ISD, which basically lets your head office distribute that credit legally. If you have a real presence there, just get a GST number for that state. And for the one-off small trips, honestly, the easiest thing is often to just treat that GST as a business expense and call it a day.
Okay, we've gone through a lot. The chaos, the tool, the process, that tricky interstate puzzle. So let's wrap this all up with a simple, actionable checklist you can start using like today.
Think of this as your roadmap. Now, all of these are important, but if you're going to remember just one thing, please let it be that first point: reconcile. Every single month. Not quarterly, not at the end of the year. Doing it monthly is the one habit that stops tiny problems from becoming huge disasters. See, what this is all about is changing your whole approach. The goal is to stop being a financial firefighter, constantly running around putting out fires every time a return is due. It's about building a system that's so good, the fires don't even start in the first place. And that really just leaves us with one final thought, a question for you to take away. Take an honest look at your own systems, your own habits. Are they just set up to react to chaos? Or are they truly designed from the ground up to create clarity? The power to change that is entirely in your hands. Thanks for joining me.